So, in paragraph 630, it is possible to know God from his creation. No other possibilities exist than those which express him. So everything is an expression of God. Basic patterns make up existence on all levels. And so I put in red, see the Mandelbrot Set, which I passed out 4 or 5 weeks ago. But at the base level, everything is based on the Mandelbrot Set. And so these basic patterns have been in existence in the universe since long before the sun even existed. And we're just, as one of my favorite, and I do like Carl Sagan in many ways, and one of my favorite quotes was, the Earth and everything on it are some of the things that hydrogen atoms do, given 13 billion years of development. Right? And so the ego is the agent of the self in time. Certain archetypal entities erupt into ego existence. So then paragraph 631, God is everything already. Why does he need man? And obviously this is the question of the answer to Job. Job is reality, God is reality itself, but he is a phenomenon, not a man at this point. Okay, at the point that he's facing down Job, he's not a man. God is an amoral force of nature, right? And why not just eliminate the root of all evil? Man, the world-shaking transformation of God into man. God revealed himself in nature at the creation. Now he wants to be more specific and reveal himself in man. The main prefiguration was when God created man in his image. So this is Adam. So he creates man and he creates Adam in his image. But one of the points he makes later is that Adam isn't a normal man. He's created by God. He's not a creaturely man. And from time to time he filled his people's prophets. From time to time he filled his people's prophets with his spirit. The result is that man is God become concrete. So it's the humanization of the unconscious on all levels. The unconscious is not human. The personal unconscious is infantile. The collective unconscious is animal or inorganic or divine. So that's the collective unconscious.
When he's saying collective unconscious there, is he talking in terms of a mass of people generating this unconscious, this collective unconscious, or are you talking about more of an eternal quality?
Eternal quality, because it's animal, inorganic, or divine.
But they're all at the same time?
Yeah.
So pick one.
Pick one, and rocks are a manifestation of the collective unconscious as inorganic, as matter. But what he's saying is that God is everything already. Why does he need man? He needs man to have consciousness. That's why he creates man in his image. And that's his rationale in this book. That God...
But is that an anthropomorphic viewpoint? In other words, Jung
Sure.
himself? Because there are a lot of people who seem not to reach consciousness.
Pardon?
Not to reach consciousness.
A lot of people do not reach consciousness, and religions prevent people from reaching consciousness, too.
Either foster or
right, because they just give concrete ritual for things that are going on in your psyche, and so therefore you don't have to live certain things. Okay, let's
Well, this is
Let's look
all
at-
a civilization, a civilizing.
well
Motive.
let me ask you a question, John. Why did the Romans have the Colosseum, and why do we have the NFL? Why? It's a question. I'm serious.
In what vein? I guess I don't understand.
Well, I mean, why do so many?
Why do we have to play out our archetypes?
Right. I mean, okay. Look, the
What's
point.
the substitute for war? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, it's a transformation of the libido of thousands, tens of thousands of men. Okay, and so look, if all that testosterone weren't burned off at the football stadium every week or doing something else, what would happen with it?
We'd have to arm
It
ourselves.
would look like
we do in
downtown
Texas.
Baltimore.
It looked like
Yeah.
Tombstone in 1855.
Right. No, I mean that is the point. And there are many
We all
places.
picked that place.
There are many places.
What did you pick?
I
I said-
picked
You
Texas.
said Texas and Baltimore.
Baltimore. Baltimore
Baltimore
City.
is the worst, I think, right now.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, that's what I read in the
They're
paper.
not
Right.
burning off.
So you're saying in essence that's a civilizing influence.
It's a civilizing influence, but it's not an authentic. It's not authentic. That's the issue. Okay, but you know, can you have? It's not authentic. The only guys that are having an authentic experience at an NFL game are the guys that are down on the field. They're having an authentic, real life experience. Okay, they're the gladiators, and so
The
they're.
rest is vicarious.
Everything else is a sublimation of that urge to have this battle, except I don't want to have to beat my brains out every Saturday, so I'm going to go watch other guys do it, right?
So it's like same thing as St. Paul with the vicarious atonement then in Christianity.
Yeah, I get, yeah. And-
I'm going to let Jesus sacrifice himself for my sins.
right,
Right.
right. So
Same mechanism. Going.
yeah, that kind of thing, right? And so what does religion do? It also burns off guilt and all kinds of things.
You're saying that's an inauthentic way of individuating.
Well, because it cuts off the numinous, it cuts off the real experience. It cuts off the Job archetype, which is contest, defeat, lamentation, and rebirth. Okay? But at the NFL game, the only guys that are having contest and defeat are the 30 guys on the losing team. Right.
Because when you intellectualize, you put this sort of verbal layer between you and the experience, and so you don't really have the experience, but you have this sort of superficial understanding, which is the intellectual verbalization.
Right. So what's education? Yeah, what's education? I mean, we're taught, you know, most people don't have an aha moment in math class. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I used to think I was so smart.
I did have an aha moment when I was in the 4th grade in math class, but most people don't. So most people don't think like Albert Einstein, right? And so, but now that Einstein thought that way, now there are a lot of people that can follow him. But even to do that is a major task. I mean, you need a PhD to actually read E equals MC squared, because the actual equation isn't E equals MC squared. It's pages and pages and
Is it
pages.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the Newtonian equivalent is E equals 1/2 mv squared. So how do you get from that to E equals mc squared?
Yeah,
It's a whole bunch
so-
of vector stuff.
Right. So equals MC squared is only a summation so that you and I can understand what he's talking about.
Exactly.
yeah.
Sound bite.
Right. E equals MC squared, so you can put it on a t-shirt, and it's the basic concept that things are either mass or energy,
Planck's constant
right?
across your t-shirt.
And so all of us can understand that things convert from mass to energy, right? We eat at the table 3 times a day, and we turn that mass into the energy which drives our life, okay? And that's basically what we're talking about. And that's happening throughout the universe in every physical process in the universe all the time. Okay, so we can understand that basically. Okay, we can get that from a summary point of view, but to get the mathematics of it, no.
And that's actually been sticking in my head lately with math. And we try to understand things as humans, and we think we can figure out God with our minds or whatever creation is. When most of us can't even do a difficult math problem, but we think we can. Oh, I've got the answer for that.
Yeah, and
if I hand you a calculus problem.
yeah, and Jesus is my buddy type thing, right?
I haven't had that
Right.
thought for a
But-
long time.
Right. So
What is that?
so anyway,
I don't
and
know.
so this key point
People who have all
is
the answers, not the ones
Because
who
it's
don't.
fractals. It's more and you get more and more little detailed areas, and those create other little detailed areas. And
yeah, until it finally all gets down to the Mandelbrot set.
That's what, isn't that what the fractals are from? Is Mandelbrot?
Yeah.
It's R, right? Okay,
Right.
that's what I thought.
So you go farther and farther down, and pretty soon you're not seeing fractals anymore. You're seeing Mandelbrot sets.
yeah, that's why scientific theories are really so crude, really very crude.
Yeah, and Jung was really derisive.
Exactly.
Jung was really derisive of science because he said, you scientists are holding all variables except one constant, and then you're solving for your variable. Well, okay, but in the pleroma, they're not constant. There are processes that are going on all the time. So, basically all scientific theory is just an approximation. It's statistics. But, Jung's simple example about it was take a hole. Now you take these rocks and you fill up the hole. Is the hole full? Now you take pebbles and you put them in around the rocks, and you put a lot of pebbles in there, and then you say, is the hole full now? And then you pour in a couple of buckets of sand, and you can still get that full, and you can tamp down the sand so that it's square with the rest of the earth, right? You can walk on it and everything. Is it full now? Well, how about if you pour water into it? Okay. Will it take water? Of course it will.
And you eventually get to some really extreme cases where you have a neutron star where one teaspoon weighs a ton.
Or more than that, yeah.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah.
And there may be something that's even more dense than that.
Yeah, in a neutron star, I think 1 teaspoon weighs as much as the Earth or something like that.
Yeah.